This is the Simulation Football League presented by 8 p.m. Music on YouTube. Tonight, we bring you a clash between two of Week 1's victors, but only one will be able to say they went 2-0 to start Season 21. It's the Seattle Nemesis versus the Fort Worth Toros. Good evening, folks. I'm Tyler Falk. Welcome to the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas, the hometown Toros will be looking to keep pace with the 2-0 Alamo City Artillery in that tightly contested South Division. Meanwhile, the Nemesis will be looking to string together back-to-back wins for only the second time in franchise history. To help me break down this inaugural matchup between these two teams, please welcome my broadcast partner, Brett Solberg. Brett, good evening.
Good evening. We've got ourselves a great matchup here in this late night action going here. Fort Worth, having a respectable, dominating, just well-defensed victory against a very sound Mexico City squad, where Seattle, they lit up the competition, just close to over 600 yards of total offense on just their game alone to get over Portland. One of these teams is going to be 2-0. Let's figure it out.
And one will end up with a crooked number in that last column, as here we go from the Stockyards. Fullerton, the former Toro, is on the return here for Seattle. He tries to kick it out to the left-hand side, but is brought down at the 26-yard line. Interesting factoid about the Seattle Nemesis. This is only their third season in existence, but they are 2-10 in road games, hopefully looking to pick up win number 3 as they welcome their rookie quarterback and Week 1 debutant Victor Ty Patak, who will lead them under center tonight as he'll hand off to Blue Scott near side, bouncing off of tackles, getting a few extra blocks, and eventually picking up 3 yards all told on the carry. And let's introduce you to the rest of that Seattle Nemesis offense. Of course, we mentioned Patak, the quarterback, Scott, the tailback, with Dean Jackson, the fullback, Christian Bacigalupe, Gus Scott, Fox Highwind, and T. DeQueen, and John Fullerton are all the wide receivers you need to know. Paulie Truth is the tight end, with Matty Mack, Will Stevens, Ethan Kai, and Clarence Carver on the line. Scott gets the call again, only the second play of the offense possession for Seattle, but only had 11 carries in the win last week.
Yeah, we should expect a lot more carries here this week. Like you said, 11 carries, but 153 yards and 3 touchdowns from Scott last week. Big portion of why they beat Portland last week.
Blitz coming here on third down. Patak stands in the pressure, fires to Scott left side, trying to spin out of the tackle, but cannot escape Aiden Davis. And that's a quick 3 and out for Seattle.
And there's that vaunted Fort Worth defense that we saw against Mexico City to limit them to just 3 points in that game. It was just an amazing effort from Fort Worth. An early 3 and out from Seattle here. Advantage early on to the home team.
So back deep to punt this one away is Lilac Boot. And Boot will boot it away. Deep downfield, good high spiraling punt just inside the 30-yard line, and trying to make a decent return, and doing so is Charlie Baker. A solid return up to the 43-yard line, and that will see Hall of Famer Marcus Dunhill take to the field.
Yeah, and Dunhill didn't really have a lot to work with in that game against Mexico City, because it was pretty much spoken for by the third quarter. He was only 20 of 26, still pretty good numbers for 261 and 2 touchdowns. The main story, the main factor of that offense was the 40 carries from J.Z. Bacon. Are we going to see the same amount of carries this week here from Bacon?
It was a clean game all told for the Toros last week. Can they keep it clean here at home in week 2? Single back look. Bacon will get the carry. First carry of the night. Gains 5 yards for J.Z. Bacon. And let's introduce you to the rest of that Toro offense. Of course, we talk about Dunhill, the quarterback, and Bacon, the halfback. Aaron Alexander is the fullback, with Cade Stevens, Joe Idle, Charlie Baker, and Stephen Hacker, the wide receivers. Robert Garrett Jr., the cowboy, is the tight end. And on the line, it's Emilio Panda and Frank Perks. Bacon, second carry of the ball game, only a yard on the call, as Sable Cannon, the outside linebacker, takes down Bacon.
And you have to think for not only just these two teams here, but throughout the league here, they're really trying to focus on stopping the run game because the run game had a field day in that inaugural convention week here. A lot of games, huge numbers, so they're going to look at focusing on stopping the run.
From near midfield, Bacon third call, stiff arm, still going as Bacon near sideline, inside the 30, and bulldozing another one for extra yards. JZ Bacon picking up right where he left off in week 1.
Yeah, and this is the capability of JZ Bacon. He might have that burst of speed that we see from running backs, but another thing to remember from Bacon as well is that he's got a bulldozing body out of him as well. He can just find a way just to push through, especially against these skinnier and smaller corners that are just not ready for impact. And it just basically flipped the field in one play. Fort Worth already threatening here at the 25.
A solid drive starting to form now here for these Toros. Fourth play of the drive. It's a delayed handoff to Bacon, and Bacon been heavily involved. All 4 plays been handoffs for him.
Yeah, and this is what we should expect from the Fort Worth offense. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He had 40 carries last week. You should expect the same thing coming here already in this drive. It's just been all JZ Bacon so far.
Another split backfield look, pitch play, Bacon near side, still fighting with defenders. That'll gain about 2 to the 20-yard line.
And that wasn't too much protection for Bacon there. You can see Aaron Alexander trying to get a little bit ahead, but was stopped by his own offensive line to get ahead. So Bacon didn't have that coverage. Try to get that first down. Here we go, 3rd and 4.
And Bacon nowhere to be seen here on 3rd down. The backup tailback is in at the moment. Right, we see our first passing attempt for Dunhill. Yes, we will. Blitz coming, pass right side, open, but incomplete. The ball was in and out of Stephen Hacker's hands. Great coverage from Daniel Valentine, and the Toros left to settle for a field goal.
And I was almost thinking Valentine stepped back a little bit too far, but had great closing speed while the ball was in the air to at least get contact on Hacker. So it was a more difficult time on this one-on-one attempt. So instead of a first down, it's going to be Amelia Rose here for a 36-yarder.
From near the left hash, snap, spot, kick is up, and it sneaks through the uprights, and good. A decent 7-play, 37-year-old drive where all 37 yards were come courtesy of the tailback, JZ Bacon. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, first off, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button to begin your career or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved, as Fullerton's return gets the Nemesis back up to the 28-yard line, and that is where they will start their second drive of the matchup.
And yeah, now Seattle has to respond in kind in some way themselves, and it doesn't really have to result in a score themselves. If they can have a long drive that can tire out the defense, that ends in even in a coffin quarter punt inside the 10, that I would call that successful drive for Seattle. It doesn't need to end in a score. They just need to get that offense going.
Anything longer than a 3 and out from drive number 1 will be any progress any day, as Scott gets the call through the middle. Ballou gains 9, a very productive run on first down.
And here we see it at the start of this game here. It's been a lot of touches from these running backs early on. Ballou already at the 4th carry in this game, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, it's only the 3rd carry in this game for Ballou Scott. But already, we've already seen about 6 or 7 carries out of, 10 plays so far in this game?
There or thereabouts, as she will get the call again through the middle and fighting off Toros left, right, and mostly center, but she will pick up the first down for Seattle tonight.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not really focusing on, these big, plays to get themselves scores. It's just about moving that flag stick forward and keep getting first downs. It's a good start here compared to last drive.
Under 5.5 to go. Scott on the call again, but she cannot escape the outside linebacker of J.L. Browning. And let's meet the rest of Browning's Toros defense. Jeff Duffy, Jerry D. Gond, and Luther Gond, alongside John Nevels, are in the trenches on the defensive line. E.K. Vincent, Sonny Sky, and the aforementioned Browning are the linebackers. Tobias Gordon, Adam Leach, Remington James, and Aiden Davis are the corners, with Ben Stone and Delaney Nash at safety. The tight end Truth will be flexed out right side as they'll pitch it left with Blue Scott, and Scott is taken down by Stone at or thereabout the line of scrimmage. That will bring up third down.
And that was great pursuit from Browning to even just slow down Scott behind the line so that someone else could catch up and hit that secondary tackle. Great work from this Fort Worth defense to stop that toss.
This will bring up the second third down of the ball game for the Seattle offense. Attack, rolling, firing into coverage, and It's caught. Gus Scott, the man on the spot, and that'll move the change for the Nemesis.
Roll out to the right from Patak, and, really gambling on that throw as well, because that was 2-on-1 coverage turning into, you could see defenders left and right, especially Adam Leach right there trying to get in front of the football. It doesn't happen. Thankfully, we did see a secondary defender at least stop them. Ben Stone did a good job to stop any forward progress after the catch.
For the first time tonight, Seattle will be in Fort Worth's territory as Scott gets the call. Left side out of 1-2, but not the third or fourth tackle as Delaney Nash tag teams with another member of the Toros defense to bring down the dangerous halfback.
Yeah, another hard-fought 5 yards from Scott here, and she's really pushing the linebacking core, especially of this Fort Worth defense, to take her down. And that's going to pay dividends down the line because the more tired those linebackers get, it's going to be an easier time for Scott moving forward.
Former tight end Christian Bachagalupe now at wide receiver playing fullback as Scott gets the call. Left side out of the tackle from Ben Stone, but finally finished off. But not before Scott was able to pick up another Seattle first down.
And that was just great blocking from all players. I give credit to Fox Highwind taking care of two defenders essentially to help out Scott on that stretch run to the left side, giving her as much room as possible to get that first down.
First and 10, Scott again on the call, bouncing out of a tackle, still trying to fight, but holding on for dear life was the defender, and that'll result in a 3-yard loss.
And man, oh man, did E.K. Vincent ever jump that line right away after the snap. Was essentially right there in front of Scott right after she got handle of the football and just had enough to get a secondary defender in to push him back that 3 yards.
Second down and long, pass middle, it's caught, and it pops out of his hands, and it's in the hands of the defender, Remington James. And that's already his second turnover of the season.
And that one, you know what? That might be something questionable in my opinion here, but even so, after looking at the catch from Paulie Truth, it got a tackle right afterwards. You can call it possible incompletion, and Remington James just being the right guy at the right time to make sure that ball doesn't fall onto the ground. I don't think that's a challengeable offense there. I think that's still a live ball, no matter what the situation is. And Fort Worth turning things around after a long drive from Seattle's offense.
Ruled a fumble, so no second interception of the season, but another lucky opportunity for these Toros on defense, continuing to play strong defense in the first early goings of the new season as Bacon out of a tackle behind the line. Excellent second effort. Gets him a couple extra yards as they will take him down. That's Bryant James on the tackle. And let's meet the rest of the Nemesis defense. Darko Young, Sean Parent, Aaron Stein, Matthias, and Aaron Stein make up the linemen on the defensive side. Matthias Citrian, TJ Harper, Sabo Kanan, and Aaron Gooden are the linebackers. Amar Bryant Jr., Daniel Valentine, and Sammy Seatbelt III are the corners, with TJ Frosty, John Jones, Doug Day, and Bryant James at safety. as Bacon gets the call again, and he will plow his way forward for another Toro first.
And 6 on the line and 8 in the box did not matter for JZ Bacon as he just pushes forward. TJ Frosty being the last line of defense, having to push a little bit forward just to even try to prevent that first down, but enough forward progression gives Bacon and the Toros that first down.
Three wide here on first down. Dunhill gonna look middle and he throws away. Intercepted by Matthias Citrion.
And that was a tough interception for him as well. He's a little bit shorter stack compared to the linebackers in this league, only at 6'1", 245. So there's still a lot to go through here, but you have to say Dunhill with an ill-advised throw to Steven Hacker right basically into the hands of Citrion and almost bobbled the ball away, manages to stay hold of it, and just as quickly as Seattle turned it over, they get the ball right back. Let's call that a 20-yard arm punt.
Second career interception for Citrion as the Nemesis will take over and immediately back to the air, and Truth this time will haul it in without any trouble.
Yeah, and that one is a little bit better thrown by Patak. It was a little bit more of a laser beam and more trusting on a one-on-one matchup between the big Pauly Truth at 6'6", 250 against the much smaller defender. It doesn't matter if it's a linebacker or if it's going to be a corner. Tight ends have advantages at some aspect of the game. It's just great to see hashtag throw to the tight end in this game.
First and 10 now. Here for the Nemesis I formation. With just under a minute to go, Patak to throw into traffic and incomplete. Highwind, the intended receiver, couldn't haul it in.
And you know, it's fair for Patak to look at Fox Highwind because you have to remember last week, 9 receptions for a $177 and a touchdown. He was the main proprietor of the Seattle passing offense. He got those big catches from Patak, so he's going to keep looking his way until he's basically completely neutralized.
Play action, Patak on the roll, near side, looking, end zone. Ooh. Nearly a one-handed catch from Highwind, just couldn't wrap his fingertips around it.
You gotta love the gutsiness from Patak and the Seattle offense here, going for pay dirt. Another one-on-one matchup. This time it was Highwind against Ben Stone, a veteran safety in this league that knows how to stop one-on-one battles. And you know what? If it was just a little bit closer to Highwind, we might have seen 6 on the board for the Nemesis.
Big third down here late on in the first quarter here for the Nemesis. Can they respond after the turnover? After getting the ball back on Citrion's interception. Trips near side, Patak rolling left. Looking middle, it is hauled in by John Fullerton, the former Toro, gets a catch inside the red zone.
And that is pinpoint accuracy from Patak again, going right to the breadbasket of Fullerton, making sure that it's just on his torso to make sure that he can grab that catch. They were only focused on getting that first down after trying to get to pay dirt on that last throw. Smart play now sets them up on first and goal, really opens up that playbook, and now they have split backs. I wouldn't be too surprised if Scott gets a touch here.
They'll pitch it to Scott's direction and right into the teeth of that defense on the outside, but Scott does well enough to drag those defenders with her for extra yardage.
Yeah, and that defense was really ready for Scott this time, having 3 defenders around that line of scrimmage, and it just relied on the push of Scott to get a little bit closer. 1.5 yards away now, Seattle is to 6 points.
Will they snap it before the end of the quarter? They will. Final play, handoff, Scott near side, and will trot her way into the end zone. Touchdown, Nemesis!
And great job from every player of the Nemesis offense to get a body on some defender. Didn't matter who it was. Get the space ready for Scott on that right-hand stretch side. Make sure she gets to the end zone to end the quarter. Ending on a high note here for Seattle, who's really picked things up on the second half of the quarter here. Great work overall.
Here comes Christian Ronald Sui on attack on the extra point, which he nails without an issue. And that will bring us to the end of quarter number 1 here in week 2 of season 21. The Nemesis take a late first quarter lead. It's 7-3 here in Texas. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Welcome back to the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Tyler Falk, joined in the booth by Brett Solberg. Our producer and commissioner is Cameron Irvine, and in the stats truck, keeping us looking sharp and sound and smart, it's a tag team of DJ Woods and Luke Schreiner. Thank you, gentlemen, as the return is a good one out to the left-hand side, all the way up to the 35-yard line for Charlie Baker. And that is where the Toros will take over.
And here's what Baker's hoping on this one. A decent return out of it, get themselves to the 35, and kind of get Dunhill a little bit more composed here. This first quarter, he only threw once. It was all handoffs to JZ Bacon. Although he's done a great job, you really need to balance that offense, get the secondary guessing a little bit here, and not hand it off to Bacon the whole time. We've seen 7 carries for 46 yards so far from Bacon.
First play of the new quarter. Dunhill looking middle. That is caught, trying to break out is Hacker, and he picks up about 9.5 yards.
And that's the good way to kind of start this drive off. Get Dunhill going a little bit here with a quick hit pass to your old reliables in Stephen Hacker. He's going to be the guy to get you those catches when need be, and just got to keep feeding him the rock. And look at Kate Stevens as well.
2nd and inches here for the Toros. They will go with the run game. Bacon having to break out of a tackle behind the line. Got through Aaron Gooden and got the first down.
Yeah, and those are the situations you want to get Bacon in. Those 2nd, 3rd, and short situations where you just have to focus on getting that first down. He will give you those and then some.
Brand new set of downs here for Fort Worth from their own 47. Number 47, that's Bacon, out of another tackle and still going.
Oh, man.
Shoulders on into the 35, and he's off to the races inside the 10-5, touchdown, Toros! A beautiful run from JZ Bacon, helped by his blockers, and the Toros retake the lead.
Momentum shifted in 1 minute and 5 seconds from one man called JZ Bacon, sizzling Matthias Sabo Kanan to the ground, saying, hey, you're cooked, but I'm not. See you later. Nobody's going to catch me, not even TJ Harper. End zone. Fort Worth gets the lead back in no time.
53-yard scamper from Mr. Bacon. Already over 100 today. And here comes Amelia Rose to try and tack home the extra point. Her extra point is up, and it is good. A quick 3-play drive, and as Brett mentioned, momentum shift in 1 minute and 5 seconds. For all the league highlights, including probably you'll see this one later this week, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league's website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future. Quick update from San Diego. Score is currently 6-0 in favor of the Mavericks over the visiting Sioux Falls Sparrows. That game just over halfway through the first quarter. You can also watch that game right here on SFL YouTube on the game going on right now. You can watch both games at the same time or flip between both of them if you'd want, but we appreciate you staying here, watching the Toros taking on the Nemesis. Quick drop here from Patak, looking over the right-hand side. That is caught for a first down and plenty more for T. Da Queen.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations where you see the cornerbacks kind of fall back a little bit too far. You trust on those quick slants, and DeQueen pulled a perfect quick slant going down the middle. Aiden Davis wasn't quite ready for it looks like, and it's just an easy catch and a quick first down here for the Nemesis.
Three wide here for the Nemesis on this first down. They go back to the ground game with Scott right side. Only about a yard gain as Browning brought down Ballou.
Yeah, and those linebackers are really keying in on Scott and making sure she's going to have one heck of a time trying to get forward. She's broken by a few times, but it has been difficult through this quarter and a bit for her.
That defensive line is starting to key in on the run as Scott gets another call, and this time nothing doing, only another yard gained as Delaney Nash brings her down.
Yeah, and then when the run occurs for Seattle, the safeties get ready and start pursuing the second that ball gets handed off. And really the aggressiveness and the perseverance of this Fort Worth defense is really starting to show in this start of the game here that Ballou Scott's going to have a tough time.
Attack so far 5 of 8 passing. We might see another passing attempt out of him here on 3rd and medium. He will roll right, looking over the middle. That is caught. Gus Scott again on 3rd down. Comes up with the first down.
Yeah, that's a big catch there from as well, because Fort Worth applied the pressure again and really had their coverage game going really well into it. Again, the safeties maybe pushing back a little bit too far, but it's tough to tell sometimes when the receivers have that change of direction and have to move in a different direction to get those coverage. But great job from Gus Scott.
And typically, partner, that's an ill-advised throw. Throwing across your body like that, and Patak has already completed 2 of those tonight as Gus Scott echoes with Ballou, and Ballou, the mother-son duo here on Seattle, as she will pick up 3 yards.
Yeah, and going back to Patak, I think that's more of a confidence thing because he has completed 6 of his first 9 throws, which is a nice number to see.
Quick drop, Patak dumps it off right side for Ballou, and Ballou out of 1, looking for more yardage, but Delaney Nash denies her the first down.
Yeah, and Sunny Sky tried to get Scott behind the line, couldn't get to it, so it had to rely on those safeties and corners trying to stop Scott from getting her another first down. Just does, but look how close it is to the first down marker. This is basically just a run up the gut, in my opinion.
Now these lines are almost imaginary to the players on the field, but can they get about the width of a shoelace further downfield to convert on first down?
They're packing it up here.
Run up the middle. Scott has about 5 yards, more than what she needed, and another first down for the Nemesis.
Yeah, nice and easy. Just pack everyone on the line and make sure you grab a body just enough to open a gap for Scott. Just a quick and easy first down.
So back to the line they come. Another solid drive here for Seattle. Play number 8 on its way. Handoff Ballou Scott near side out of 1 and dragged down near the 20-yard line by E.K. Vincent.
And we're going to see this early on in the season. The running backs really are starting to establish their dominance in this early season game so far. And it's going to take more than just one tackler to get to them. And Ballou Scott has had 2 or 3 defenders on her before she goes down.
Split backfield here on 2nd down. Pitch play near side. Scott with a couple extra blockers in different parts of the field other than where she needed them. So a pickup of about 4 yards, and that will bring up another 3rd down.
And another long drive here from Seattle. We are over a 4-minute drive at this point. This is going to be play number 11. They're really trying to tire out this Fort Worth defense.
Longest drive of the game. Scott gets the call, trying to fight
stuck
through her own line. And huge credit to that front 4 of Fort Worth, denying any chance of a hole being opened, and it brings up 4th and short.
Yeah, and you heard me just in the back screen in the back behind Tyler here. Just got stuck. Blue Scott did, and again, Fort Worth makes a critical stop and forces possibly 3 out of 6 here.
Ronald Sue's kick is up and good. And a long drive, 11 play, 60 yards, 4:41 taken off the game clock, and that results in another tie ball game.
Yeah, and it's not a bad drive from Seattle, at least ties the game here, but some of that has to be a bit demoralizing to them because they had Fort Worth on the ropes in a very close third down situation, and it was just one play where the defense stepped up and forced a field goal instead of a possible touchdown.
So half the fans are screaming "Suey," and the other half are saying, "Yeah, special teams," or maybe they're saying both. I don't know at this point. And here comes Baker on the return, left side, shifting out of another potential tackle and getting all the way up to a 32-yard line. Eventually, partner, this young fella is going to break one open.
Yeah, it's good early returns here from Baker, and it starts with, getting past that 30-yard line and establishing a good field position for the Fort Worth offense to get them going. So we might have to see in the second half if Baker can kind of break out, get into enemy territory, or perhaps just get a full kick return touchdown out of it. But right now, Fort Worth starting in good field position in this half.
They will come out in an I formation as Dunhill back to throw, looking middle. There's Hacker to the 40-yard line or thereabouts. 7 yards for Hack.
A quick in slant. It's happened now twice for Hacker and open each time. So Dunhill's just going to go with that quick head option. And that's just an easy 7 yards.
Just a few yards away from 11,000 in his illustrious career as Bacon gets the call, puts one on the turf, another one goes down, still going, It's Bacon, how did he stay in bounds, and fighting off Kanan down the sideline, Bacon is gone again! Touchdown, Fort Worth!
Again, I was going to bring up the fact that Seattle's had so many long, elaborate plays in this game. They've had 30 plays so far in this first half. For Fort Worth, 16 points in 15 plays. They know how to get points in efficient ways, and it's from plays like this. How did J.Z. Bacon stay away from the out-of-bounds sideline, stay in bounds, and get to the end zone? Great agility, great elusiveness, power, speed, you name it. J.Z. Bacon is hot, hot, hot.
Wow, a beautiful, spectacular run for the Toros halfback. And just when it was all level, all of a sudden, Bacon pulls out a sledgehammer and pulls the Toros back out in front to play 68-yard drive. But it was all Bacon all night long. If you're liking the game so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. So now it's time for Seattle to respond, partner.
Yeah, and right now, you might have to trust in, type attack right now because Baloo Scott, unorthodoxly, averaging less than 3 yards per carry right now because the defense has been ready.
First play of the drive will be a Baloo Scott run, and she will break out of a tackle, but only 8 yards is the result of that one.
Yeah, good establishing run from Scott here to start that drive off. And Seattle has to, play maybe a little bit of the Fort Worth card here and get themselves a quick score because the Toros offense has done a fantastic job with the limited time that they've had on the field to score 17 points already. So Seattle needs to find something in kind themselves.
Scott again on the call through the middle, and she will pick up a chunk of yards all the way to about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and that was just great job from the offensive line to open up that gap, as well as getting that extra help from Bacigalupi playing fullback in this play set here, just to kind of free up a little bit more space for Scott to move ahead, and that's another 15 yards to see from Baloo.
While the competition has been fierce and having to live almost in the shadow of Bacon, Baloo Scott definitely performing as advertised, as she will continue to get the call and become the bell cow for the Seattle offense tonight. 5 more yards to her tally.
Yeah, and already the 21st carry of the game from Baloo, really emulating what she did last week in getting 40 carries. And I know Doug Day wasn't really looking to have Baloo carry so much early on in these first 2 weeks here, but Baloo's getting work done.
Only 11 carries for Baloo. Bacon was the one who had 40 carries last week, partner. As it was a mix between one man who we haven't seen run the football, that's quarterback Ty Patak, as Scott again on the call, and another first down here for Seattle.
Yeah, that's me mixing up the stats here. When you see two teams, it's tough to see, look at numbers at the same time. But like you said, Baloo really changing. Like let's change my perspective then. Baloo really making an impact on the Seattle team. 2-minute warning coming here.
2 minutes to go here in the first half of play. It is 17-10. Fort Worth on top. Seattle with the football. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Two to go here in quarter number 2. Attack will hand off to Scott right side, looking for a block from her fullback, Dean Jackson, but unable to get one. She's only able to pick up 2 yards.
Yeah, and it seems like that stretch to the outside Fort Worth kind of has covered right now. So that one is maybe a little bit of a feeler after Scott's had those inside stretch and those inside gut runs, just to see if they could get anything out of it. But again, Baloo gets stopped after 2 yards.
Another pass, right side, floated over the defenders beautifully to Fox Highwind.
No, that was just a beautiful throw from Patak. And like you said, there was 3 defenders in the area and just floated right above specifically the head of Sunny Sky to get to Highwind. And that's a critical first down. I would say a critical throw from Ty Patak, so at least he gets involved in the passing game here.
Minute 20 to go here in the second quarter. Seattle nearing field goal range at least. Patak have it to roll. He's going to take off. First true run of the game here for the rookie quarterback. He picks up 6 as Seattle will call their first timeout.
Yeah, he was rolling out to the left, and he was seeing that none of his options were open, so he had to basically take it himself. So then there was open field on that second level and got 6 yards. So there's a little bit less breathing room for that Fort Worth defense now on this third down.
3rd and about 4 here for Seattle. Five to go on the play clock. They will snap it. Patak rolling, has to get rid of it, and does. One-handed catch from Highwind, and he will be dragged down near the 5-yard line. A beautiful pitch and catch from Patak to Highwind, and it's 1st and goal, Nemesis.
And good patience from Patak, knowing that the pocket was collapsing a little bit on him, waiting for Highwind to get open, slings a perfect rock to Highwind and manages to get the catch. And now 1st and goal. Let's see if they can respond and tie this game up with one play.
10 of 12 tonight for Patak. He has been excellent. And slinging the rock when been called upon. Blitz coming, pass middle, caught! Touchdown, Christian Bacigalupi!
And that was one guy that hasn't been targeted yet on that Seattle offense. Managed to get himself just open enough for Patak to go through. Nobody essentially was covering Bacigalupi once he was going to cross on the in route, and he just finds himself easy money in the end zone. Seattle doing a great job consuming clock and getting an extra point away from tying this game.
Bacigalupi's only 2nd career receiving touchdown, as he'll tie up the football game with the Ronald Suey extra point with 1:01 to go in the half. We are back underway. The Toros and Charlie Baker will have to try and make another solid return. About 2 yards deep in his own end zone, going to try and look through the middle, and he's finally brought down. And this is surprising. Up to the 27-yard line, his worst return of the night, as we go for the first time over to SFL headquarters for a game break from San Diego.
Thank you, Tyler. Watch this play. 6-0 San Diego. Sioux Falls driving. Give me that, says King Bradshaw. Totally jumps the route. But San Diego goes 3 and out after a defensive game in California. 6-0 Mavs in the second quarter. Back to you all in Fort Worth.
I mean, that defender, Brett, was as fast as Cliff Allen was saying, yeah, special teams every single time. Just lightning quick reflexes from the Maverick defender as Dunhill under pressure, rolling near side. It's off the hands of the intended receiver. That falls incomplete, trying to get the fullback, Alexander, and that brings up second down.
And pretty gutsy from Dunhill as well, because he had two defenders basically breathing down his neck, almost sacking him, but manages to stay composed and, throws a pretty good footballs to his receiver, but unfortunately he doesn't get caught.
That was only the fourth attempted pass of the night for Dunhill.
Uh-oh.
As Bacon fumbled the football, and Aaron Stein falls on it for Seattle.
Forget Ben Stein's money. How about Aaron Stein's fumble recovery? Seattle once again taking advantage of the opportunity at hand. Great pursuing tackle from, it looked like Messiah Citrion with the tackle there to fumble the ball loose and into the hands of the lineman and Aaron Stein. And with 47 seconds left, Seattle could possibly take the lead heading in the locker room.
They are already within Ronald Suey's range here at the 25-yard line of Fort Worth. Shotgun look here from the nemesis. Attacking a look right side. Oh, he's nearly picked off. And that would have gone all the way back. Remington James. Oh, he's already had a spectacular night.
Yeah, he's already had technically a fumble recovery, which you could argue might have been an interception, but nonetheless, if he would have taken that to the house, forget about the momentum Seattle gained from that fumble recovery. Just one turnover after another, says the freaking the football gods here.
Second and 10 off. Split backfield here for Seattle. Patak and it covered. Oh, good, nearly throws it away. Oh, he doesn't want anyone to have the football.
And there's that erratic rookie throwing from Patak here. Pressure is starting to get to him at this point now that Seattle has an opportunity to take the lead in this game for what I believe would only be the first time. I believe Fort Worth scored first out of this. So, yeah, Patak needs to, stay composed here in this situation and try to throw a slick rock to one of his receivers.
Attack and a roll, looking, end zone, one-handed! Oh, and a catch by Fullerton, and it's first and goal!
That's gutsy, and they want to get this score before the end of the second here.
Quick drop, blitz coming, Patak looking, end zone, it is complete, looking for the former Toro Fullerton again, but this time no dice.
Yeah, I give credit to Seattle going with the hurry up there. They only have one timeout left in this half, and they really don't want to use it until they desperately need it. So they went with a hurry up quick. Almost got a throw on that. Fullerton almost grabbed the catch. They've got another opportunity here. Looks like Patak's ready to throw.
Shotgun look again. Linebacker showing blitz on the far sideline. Tata Queen, the woman in motion, near side. Blitz coming, Patak dumps it underneath, caught by the Queen, touchdown, Seattle, and they do take advantage of the fumble, and they equal it with points.
And you're talking about squeezing it in from DeQueen as well, as she just had her feet in the end zone on that catch and was trying to be pushed out just to see that it, again, another close call out of this, but Seattle will take 6 from that. And with 22 seconds left, they're in high spirits, almost heading into halftime.
And of course, under 2 minutes, plays can only be reviewed from the booth. And the booth likes what they saw, so it is a touchdown. And the extra point is up and good. And Seattle take a 7-point lead here on the road nearing the end of the half.
Now the question is, with 22 seconds left, can Fort Worth respond in kind? We've seen quick drives from them ending in scores. Can they do it with this amount of time left?
Arnold Suey boots this one deep. Charlie Baker on his own goal line now with the return. He makes something out of it. He's taken down at his own 29-yard line. Now here come back out the Toros offense. They will get the ball to start the second half, and so anything is possible here for an offensive game plan.
Yeah, decision time from head coach Luis Gonzalez. See if he wants to get this game back at a deadlock tied score, try to get it at 24 apiece, or if he's just ready to settle and get into the locker room to see if he can make some second half adjustments.
First and 10, 17 seconds to go. Here for Marcus Dunhill on the Toros. They will hand it off to Bacon, near side. Bacon looking for the sideline, out of another tackle. Still going is JC Bacon down the sideline and shoving a man down near the 40-yard line, and they hurry back to the line. 5 seconds to go. They need to get the snap off. They will call a timeout with 3 seconds to go.
That's one of those situations where I think if Bacon was down right away, they should have called a timeout, because now they only have one play instead of possibly two to get any points out of this, and it's still way out of field goal range for Amelia Rose. This is going to be a Hail Gary if I've ever seen one.
We almost saw Minnesota complete a Hail Mary. In just a block ago, Ken Dunhill show off the arm, deep bomb inside the 5. Oh! Just 3 yards shy for Cade Stevens. But unfortunately, it's all for naught as the half comes to a close. Seattle with the lead, 24-17. And I'll tell you what, partner, week 2 of season 21 has been phenomenal.
High action from both these teams here. We're looking at a combined 463 yards of total offense between these two teams. They have been ready to go. Fort Worth has been explosive with the little time that they've had with the football. Only 19 plays in the first half compared to Seattle's 44. Seattle's tried to play the possession game out of this, and it's resulted in them having a 7-point lead heading into halftime with a great 2-minute drill that led themselves to the end zone with 22 seconds left. Fort Worth almost got that game back to a tie. My lord, Kate Stevens, the right guy to go to in deep ball situations, stopped at the 2-yard line, and Seattle heads into this half with the lead. But like you said earlier, partner, Fort Worth is going to have that football back, and you have to think that Kate Stevens catch has to carry some momentum heading into the third.
That's some insane numbers for JC Bacon, 4 yards shy of 200, and he has just over 10 carries on the night as we welcome you back to the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Brett Solberg. We're glad to have your company here on August 5th, 2023, week 2 of season 21, as Seattle will kick off the second half to the Toros, and we are back underway. Charlie Baker will be the man deep to return Arnold Suey's kickoff, and he will try to make something out of it as he breaks out of one, but taken down at the 29-yard line, and that is where Fort Worth will begin the second half.
Yeah, and here's what, Fort Worth has done really quick drives that leads and scores here. But now I'm starting to think to myself, if you want to get back in this game, I would trust in Seattle not having the football. So maybe a flip reverse in roll game here for Fort Worth might be the recipe to success in the second half. So maybe they can find a way to either tie up or take the lead later in this game.
I formation here for Dunhill. 8 men in the box here for Seattle. Handoff Bacon. They've been trying to corral him all night. The few times tonight he's taken down before he can get a first down.
This man is averaging over 15 yards per carry. JZ Bacon, Seattle's had a very tough time trying to get him neutralized, and it's all for naught as Bacon gets himself that 200-yard marker. It's like he never laughed last week.
And off Bacon again, near sideline, trying to extend the play, trying to continue his momentum down the sideline. Another broken tackle as he gains an extra yard after that.
Yeah, and it's just great vision from Bacon to see any open hole that he could get. A missed tackle opportunity from Bryant James leads to a little bit more space from Bacon so he can get that first down.
Just like the first quarter and the first couple of drives, the running game on full display here for the Toros as Dunhill's back to pass, looking for a dump off to Bacon near far sideline, but the defensive lineman got his hands up quickly and knocked it aside.
And yet here might be the downside of a smaller quarterback. Potentially, no, my mistake here. I'm thinking of type attack. Again, mixing up my guys here. Marcus Dunhill is definitely not a short guy at 6'5", but you got a bigger guy in TJ Harper getting his hands up. That's going to be hard to throw past.
Second down here for the Toros. Trying to overload that left-hand side of the line as it'll be play action. Dunhill out of a tackle, looking deep down the sideline. Can't connect with Stephen Hacker. Bryant Jr. in on the stop.
Yeah, that was just straight one-on-one. See if who can secure that football or deflect that pass. And Bryant relied on body to body to see if he could jar that ball loose and make it an incompletion. And it works for him. Great job from Dunhill, though, to avoid the sack.
Play action again. Dunhill with much more time this time, and he'll connect with his receiver, Cade Stevens, for a first down.
And again, trusting on one-on-one play, Dunhill is, and now he's starting to get that football alive in his hands here. First half, he was only 3 of 5. He didn't really have too many touches of throwing that football down the field, but he manages now to get Cade Stevens involved again in a big play to get Fort Worth ahead, move those chains, get the first down.
Now on the opposite side of the 50-yard line. From the Toros offense, Dunhill to throw. It's been a lot more throwing from him to begin this second half as he will find Stephen Hacker for another Toro first down.
And I feel bad in a situation for a guy like TJ Harper. He essentially had to cover 2 men, and those are 2 tough men to cover in Stephen Hacker as well as Robert Garrett Jr. It would have been TJ Frosty trying to get that extra coverage, but was a little too late coming in. So it was essentially 2-on-1, and it was just reap the benefits for Mr. Dunhill, and he feeds it to Hacker.
On a 15-yard reception from Hacker, sets up 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Handoff Bacon, right side. Can he break out of another one? No, he cannot. Contained after 3 yards as we go back to Commissioner Cameron Irvine, who has an update from San Diego.
Thank you, Tyler. Watch this play. Johnny Pickler in a 6-3 ball game avoids a sack, thinks he has a touchdown, but doesn't see Jay Ringgold at the front of the end zone. Sioux Falls takes over. It's 6-3 Mavs on top of the Sparrows. They have 64 total yards, but they still lead. Back to you guys in Fort Worth.
Thank you, Cam. Dunhill, middle, incomplete, looking for the Cowboy. Just a little bit too tall.
I don't mind that throw from Dunhill. He's trying to get himself going, and there was a clear open opportunity. Bryant James missed his assignment until it was a little too late. So it was an open throw for Dunhill. He just slings it a little bit too fast, a little bit too much mustard, as a certain Canadian would say.
Too much mustard, maybe a hint of red pepper flake, a.k.a. miscommunication between quarterback and receiver. You be the judge. 3rd and 7 Now upcoming here for the Toros, play action. Dunhill under pressure, has to take off and run, but he cannot get past the line of scrimmage. Down he goes as Aaron Gooden says hello.
And that is what Seattle needed. Fort Worth was really taking time off the clock. They are going to get to a 3-minute drive. I think their first 3-minute drive of this game for them, if I'm not mistaken, which is going to lead to a Fort Worth field goal attempt here. 38 yards for Amelia Rose, and potentially getting this game to a 4-point contest.
And so a potential small victory here for Seattle as the field goal is snap, spot kick is up and good. And the Seattle Nemesis survive that drive as they only get 3 instead of 7.
Yeah, and it was a good job, I would say, overall from Fort Worth to really try to extend things out as much as they could. First 3-minute drive of the game for the Toros and really shedding some clock. Seattle's going to want to do the same. So now Fort Worth's task on defense gets Seattle quickly on a 3-and-out.
So Amelia Rose will get us going once again, as Fullerton will just have to take a knee deep in his own end zone, down for a touchback, as the Nemesis will start their first possession of the second half on their own 20.
Yeah, and this will be interesting where they go from here. It's been a balanced attack, both run and pass. Patak at 167 so far. Baloo Scott, 22 carries for 72 yards. It's been a balanced effort from the Seattle offense.
Offset eye behind Ty Patak here on first down. They'll try and go with the running game as Baloo Scott cannot get out of the tackler. That's JL Browning, and it seems early now here in the second half, partner, as both teams have said at halftime, no more big runs from either tailback.
Yeah, and you can see the motion coming off from Pauly Truth to kind of support that left side and see if they can get extra support covering for Scott, but Browning came in right away past the line of scrimmage.
Blitz coming, Patak gonna have to throws it left side, and there's Highwind on the stop route. That picks up, they'll say it's a first down. I don't know about that, partner.
We have to look at where that football was taken to on that catch to see if he moved forward on that. Again, another close call. I would throw the flag here if I am Fort Worth, but they're gonna keep it in their pocket. It looks like they're gonna give Seattle the first down.
I will stay in from head coach of the Toros. This will be a pitch play for Scott left side as Baloo wriggles her way through a couple of defenders and picks up 6.
First toss play in a while for Scott that gave her space on the left side. It was a great job from, again, all the players from this Seattle offense to get a body on themselves and get Scott the space to at least run. A good 6 yards off that toss.
Split backfield here on 2nd and 4. Here for Seattle, up by 4. Handoff, Scott through the middle, got a couple extra blocks. And a flag comes in as Scott goes down awkwardly. Here's the call. Remington James will get called with an incidental face mask, and so that'll tack on a few extra yards.
Yeah, and it looked like it was accidental. It didn't look like Remington James was aiming for the head at all with his hands or any part of his body to get Scott down. It was just one of those situations where he just wanted to get his body on her and try to tackle her down.
I'm sure if you ask Scott, though, that didn't feel accidental at all. Oh, shifty move from Baloo, and Baloo will finagle her way up for 9 more.
And sometimes a little bit of a juke, a little bit of head movement somewhere will get someone in the wrong way, and that is just E.K. Vincent. Say goodbye to your jock there. It's heading somewhere in the 30-yard line at this point. Come pick it up. So Scott gets herself another 9 yards out of it, and that's what Seattle wants. They just want to keep carrying that possession game and keep dominating.
I formation with 2 tight ends here on 2nd and short. They'll go with the ground game again. Scott left side gets blasted forward for a first down as the Seattle drive continues.
I think more so Duffy was more worried about getting Scott to the ground than allowing that first down because, Scott has that capability of shedding tackles and has the possibility to get those big gains, so at least get her on the ground.
Other handoff for Baloo, and she cannot fight forward enough. They'll say that she got back to the line of scrimmage. JL Browning in on the stop.
Yeah, these linebackers have had big games so far in this game. Browning now getting to his 7th total tackle. Sunny Sky and EK Vincent now at 4. They've been the main proprietors of the tackling game.
Roll out right, Patak across his body, and it's picked up through across his body too many times and taken away. Adam Leach with the interception.
And here's the interesting part. It was in the hands of the Seattle receiver for a split second, but Adam Leach used his strength to rip it out of Fox Highwind's arms and get himself the interception and get Fort Worth an opportunity again to possibly get this game within reach here or take the lead.
Leach's 29th career interception number 1 on the season, as the Toros will set up shop on their own 40-yard line. Still only down by 4 as Dunhill will look to throw deep bomb over the middle. There's the Cowboy, and there's the first down.
If you want a tough one-on-one catch and you want to throw it to the tight end, what other option do you have other than heading it to the Cowboy? Straight streak route. TJ Harper was doing another assignment which led to the open body, which we saw a lot in the Mexico City game for Robert Garrett Jr., but wasn't getting the passes thrown to him. This time gets another target and another big catch.
Pitch play for Bacon, near side, gets out of one tackle, but denied any more forward progress as he gets taken down. Only a yard gain. TJ Frosty in on the stop.
Yeah, and Seattle really wants to switch that defensive game plan and basically just try to stop the run at this point. Bacon has been a tough man to handle in that first half, getting that $194 so far. He hasn't had too many carries so far in this second half, but they have limited him to little yardage.
Three minutes to go. Blitz coming. Pass right side. Open is Cade Stevens. Turns the upfield. Beautiful turn. And he'll pick up the first down yardage.
An awkward catch from Stevens as well, as he had to basically collect it from behind him, see if he can spin himself around, and manages to get himself, the wherewithal to kind of turn around, have enough time to turn his body, get past the sidelines, and get a little bit ahead. Great job from Stevens.
Valentine says he was sleeping. I just think he just overcommitted, to be honest with you, as that brings up first down and 10 from near the 24-yard line of Seattle. 2 wideouts to Dunhill's right. Six, 7 men in the box for Seattle to try and contain Bacon. Instead, they will throw with, it's going to be a screenplay right side. Bacon shimmies out of one, fighting through another tackle, but taken out of bounds about a half a yard shy.
And again, Fort Worth is totally fine with this. First screenplay that we've seen from Fort Worth in this game so far, and it works pretty well. The blocking paid off, and it got 9.5 yards out of it, second and short.
Another heavy look out of the Toros offense. They go with 2 tight ends on the line to the right. Now an offset eye behind Dunhill. They will go with Bacon, and Bacon stretches out of one and stretches forward for the first down.
And Sabo Kanan had the right idea to try to get to Bacon, jumped the line, but was a little bit too wide on his jump off, which resulted in Bacon just squeezing past the first down marker.
Single back set here on first down, a minute and change to go here in the third quarter. They're really stacking the box now on defense. They go with Bacon right side, a weaker part of that defense, and it shows as Bacon bulldozes one, and he's in for his third touchdown of the ball game as the Toros retake the lead.
It was, again, great job from the offensive line of the Toros to get a body on someone and give Bacon enough space on the right side, and it was just all on him. Basically a one-on-one battle with TJ Frosty, and Bacon wins the battle once again, and it feels like the same story one more time. Third touchdown for JZ Bacon, gets Fort Worth taking the lead.
So here they come back to the line here for the extra point from Amelia Rose. This to make it a 3-point ball game. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. 27-24 after a 6-play, 60-yard drive, puts the Toros up 27-24. Now available, free to download. You can play the SFL video game on the go on the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23, right in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL. Set to go once again. Here comes Seattle, now down by 3 after the Bacon touchdown. They come out with 3 wide receivers. Hand off, Scott near side, looking for room, and gets about 2 yards. Up to about the 22.
And again, it seems like Fort Worth really trying to lock down Scott and trying to push her as far as she can, just as far back as possible on those stretch runs and those outside tosses.
Split backfield here on second down. Attack and a roll left. Looking middle, and a good heads-up play from Adam Leach, who already has 1 interception in the ball game, to knock that one down.
Yeah, and the Fort Worth defense has done a pretty good job with, getting these, subtle pass deflections and, making Patak really try to toss a perfect football down. It's been a little bit of a tougher time for Patak to get those completions in the second half compared to the first half.
Under a minute to go now here in the third quarter. Attack under center. Dime look out of the Toros. Attack will look to throw. Middle open is Gus Scott near the 40-yard line. That'll move the chains. A first down for Seattle.
Yeah, and that's just trusting a guy who has been open in key situations. Gus Scott does it one more time. And again, just left wide open because it looks like Adam Leach was thinking streak route instead of looked like a post route to the middle for Gus Scott.
That's a good start to the drive for Seattle. Now can it continue? Delayed handoff up the middle. Scott on the call. And a play that looked kind of awkward resulted in positive yardage.
Yeah, possibly a broken play that turned into something because Patak saw the pursuant edge rusher on that right side getting to him. So it was a great job to hand it off and get those 5 yards.
I formation here on 2nd and 5. Scott again on the call, this time a more traditional run as she will get to about midfield, as that will result in a first down, and that will take us to the end of the quarter.
And again, one thing that has worked for the Seattle run game is runs up the gut. We've seen 6-7 yard runs out of them. You got to keep doing that in the fourth.
Fourth down upcoming. Before we get there, we send it over to Chris Curtis to let us know what our rights are. This is the Simulation Football League on YouTube.
Of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back to the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Brett Solberg here in the booth. A special thanks to statisticians Luke Schreiner and DJ Woods. And of course, the SFL commissioner is also our producer, Mr. Cameron Irvine, as we welcome you back here for quarter number 4 of week 2 of season 21 of the Simulation Football League. As Scott, Lou Scott, out of 1 tackle and falling forward for a pickup of 4.
And again, I have to give credit to these Fort Worth linebackers really making a tough time for Baloo Scott to really get ahead, because she always seems to get tackled either behind the line or at the line of scrimmage, so she can't really gain that forward momentum the same as Jay-Z Bacon has.
And off for Baloo Scott near side with blockers in front of her, and Scott with a decent run near the 30-yard line of Fort Worth, and now this offensive machine continues to hum and rumble down the field.
Yeah, first time in a while that a stretch run has really worked out for Scott, and it was just because of great blocking, getting Bachagalupe, ahead of Scott, getting an open gap for Scott to run. That's what they need to do if they continue handing the ball off to Baloo.
Scott nearing 150 yards. The better producer on the ground here in the half, as Scott gets destroyed after a 2-yard gain as J.L. Browning, he's having a fantastic game. The team, or the second in team leading tackles tonight.
Yeah, 9th tackle now from Browning. Seems to be the main assignment on Scott, it feels like. Always heading to Browning's side, it feels.
Ben Stone with 8.5 total tackles. Delaney Nash with 11 total tackles. Lots of producers on that Fort Worth defense. 5-man rush. Batak looking deep downfield. Caught! Fox Highland inside the 10, and they're knocking on the door.
Yeah, trust on your reliable option. And Highwind has been the most targeted receiver in this game so far. 7th target, now 4th catch of the game. And that was just straight one-on-one, perhaps one-on-two, still with the advantage of Highwind, because he had his eyes on the football that entire play.
Just a quick look at Batak's numbers. A solid day through the air. Just a couple of mistakes, and that being the one interception. Blitz coming from Fort Worth on 1st and goal. And down he goes! Our first sack of the ball game as the Toros get home.
And Jerry D. Gahn gets himself the first sack of the game, and great pressure from the Fort Worth defense. Nice spin move to free his way away from the offensive lineman and get right behind Patak. And now 2nd and goal looks a little bit more daunting from a few yards further back.
1st and goal has turned into 2nd and 15. 7.5 to go. All that Seattle needs is a field goal. Don't want to try forcing anything here. Corner route. Touchdown! Forget everything I just said. The Queen is in the back of the end zone. Seattle, this leapfrog game continues as they jump out back in front.
You talk about gutsy performances in this game here. I talked earlier about erratic throws from Patak that ends up being a little bit risky. This was another risky throw from Patak, but that is the gutsiness you need out of your starter quarterback in Ty Patak to throw it right in the spot where nobody else is going to get that football, right in the hands of Tita Queen.
And partner, I'm going to call it. That's a nice catch. That's some nice hands that Tita Queen has. And that's brought to you by a Retroid as the nice hands catch of the game. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with partner in it, or your player in it, or maybe even your partner. Who knows? SFL 4K23. And now the Toros and Charlie Baker on the return will try and answer the Queen's immaculate reception for a touchdown as he will fight forward, and Baker continues his impressive day on the return game.
Yeah, and these kicks haven't been, short ones from the kicker. It's been deep. It's been getting him caught at the 1. So Baker basically has to start from ground zero, and he's been consistently getting himself past the 25 and now a few times past the 30. And now with Fort Worth back behind again with 7:19 left to go in this game. Again, good starting momentum, good starting field position for Dunhill and company to get.
And they're right around averaging to start a drive, averaging about the 31-yard line to begin each of their possessions as they'll pitch it off to Bacon. Left side, out of one tackle. Bacon turning upfield, breaking out of another, and taken down near the 45-yard line. Bacon, realizing that they are behind, just gets back on the burner and continues to sizzle and pop.
Yeah, this has just been the story of JZ Bacon, just at this point embarrassing the Seattle defense, and it feels like any chance they've tried to tackle him, he's just shed it off like he's full of grease on him. And JZ Bacon, you see the numbers there, dominating performance. If you can get a game that is well over 10 yards per carry, that is just a dominating performance.
242 yards on the ground for Bacon. Second play of the drive. It's first down again here for the Toros. Hand off Bacon, near side, and there's a good tackle from Seattle. No gain.
Yeah, and that's the first time it feels like, and if it's not been in this game, but in a while, that TJ Harper's finally got the upper hand on JZ Bacon, now setting up basically neutral ground, 2nd and 10.
Far and few between have been the Fort Worth Toros being stuck back on 2nd and 10. Usually they've had 2nd and short, 2nd and medium. We'll see what they can do here on a 2nd and long. Pitch play to Bacon, near side, out of one tackle. That's the dreaded one Dougie Day he broke out of, but the second tackle finishes off Bacon, and that brings up third down.
Yeah, the Seattle defense really clamping down. Fort Worth wants to establish the run so they can set themselves up with a pass on these 2nd and 3rd down opportunities. Now 3rd and 7, basically forcing Fort Worth's hand to throw the football.
Toros have been iffy on 3rd down, only 2 of 5. Can they convert here? Dunhill, middle, caught. That brings them back to 50% and keeps the drive alive.
And that's a big catch as well from Joe Idle, who hasn't been targeted in this game. Gets his first target, his first catch of the game. In dire situations, the first time we've seen a 3rd and medium in a while for Fort Worth, and Dunhill, the veteran presence that he is, keeps composed, finds his open target, gets the first down.
And partner, that's not only Idle's first catch of the game, that's his first catch of his SFL career. So congratulations to Idle, and hopefully many, many more. Just about halfway to go here in this quick-moving fourth quarter. Handoff Bacon through the middle, down after only a gain of about 2, as we want to remind you that APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com as Dunhill nearly throws it right into TJ Frosty's hands.
And you know what? It is tough to get it into the hands of the small fullback in Aaron Alexander. We're talking about a guy who is 5'8". That is a tough guy to try to pinpoint a pass to, and he overthrows him by a good 10 yards.
4 wideouts here on 3rd down. Need to get beyond the 21-yard line to keep the chains moving. Play action, blitz coming. Dunhill with time, looking left side. It is incomplete, but taken out of the picture was Cade Stevens by Doug Day, and they will call it a pass interference on Doug Day. First down, Toros.
And a critical call from the referees there, and I don't think there's any doubt about this one. You'll see it on the replay here. Doug Day, you know, I don't know. That one's going to be a tough one. They're going to call it pass interference, not really focused on the football at all, just on his man. And now Fort Worth with a prime opportunity. They essentially have 4 chances and 6 yards to get to the end zone.
It was the dreadlocks, wasn't it, partner?
Mm-hmm.
And so 1st and goal from the spot of the foul come the Toros, given an extra chance to get points. Blitz coming, dump off Bacon, near side, taken down behind the line for one of the rare times tonight.
Yeah, and just great pursuant from, it looked like Amar Bryant Jr., that was part of that tackle as well, along with another defender, just being ready for that dump-off pass.
Pitch near side, Bacon gets taken down behind the line again. TJ Harper brings him down, and it's 3rd and goal.
Yeah, and it seems like Seattle's reading that goal line offense from Fort Worth because, again, jumping off the gun is a defender. This time it was Doug Day that stopped him 2 yards behind the line.
4 wide, Dunhill under center. Here on 3rd and goal. It'll be a play action. Dunhill looking middle. It is caught. Touchdown. Cade Stevens, the man who got blasted out of the picture on the pass interference call, comes away with a touchdown.
And for Stevens, that sweet, sweet revenge after the pass interference. But the big thing here has been 3rd down performances in this drive from Marcus Dunhill, trusting in his arm to get forward and get the score to end it off here. But have they left too much time for Seattle? If they get this extra point, it's a 3-point game. That's still a lot of time left for Seattle to cook.
And this is a far cry from last week when the Toros had their way with Mexico City. It's been back and forth, tooth and nail between the Toros and the Nemesis. This one has been fantastic throughout. And all you have to do for Seattle is look to last week when they fought tooth and nail with the Portland Fleet back at home. Can they do it again? Fullerton with the knee down in his own end zone. And before we go any further, we got some more games coming up Sunday night on SFL YouTube. A bitter rivalry is renewed when both Carolina and Baltimore lick their wounds from an opening weekend at 6:30 p.m. Eastern to try and avoid an 0-2 start. Florida takes their talents to Queen City for the Corsairs season opener at 6:45. And finally, the West, Arizona and Denver welcome Tulsa and LA respectively, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. SFL Season 21 is in full swing, and so is Baloo Scott, getting the opening carry of the drive for 5 yards.
Yeah, there's no need to panic here from Seattle. They've got plenty of time to work with. So this first play is just about establishing the run, seeing what they can get out of Scott on this first play, get some 5 yards.
I formation behind Patak, leading a pivotal drive. Early on in his rookie career, as Scott falls forward, they will grant Scott a first down. A lot of close calls tonight, partner, have been going Seattle's way.
Yeah, and the bell cow does it again. Carry number 35 for Baloo Scott, a drastic change from last week.
She was given equal carries as her quarterback, Patak. Both of them had 11 carries last week. 3 points separates the Toros and Nemesis. Handoff, Scott near side looking for extra yardage and a 6-yard gain. And partner, we mentioned it maybe only once, but this is the first time these two clubs are matching up against another.
Yeah, and what a game this inaugural matchup between Seattle and Fort Worth has been. Down to the wire this entire game. It hasn't been further than a 10-point lead between this. It's been a fantastic matchup.
And one thing that Seattle has done well tonight is clock management as they continue to try and ebb away the clock and try and gain chunk plays. That play not going very well as Jenko brings them down, brings up 3rd down as we are going to hit the 2-minute warning.
And 3rd downs have been pretty good for Seattle so far. Again, another number everyone likes, 6 of 9 on 3rd down. Can they go 7 of 10?
That's the whistle for the 2-minute warning. Don't change that radio dial. Don't change the channel. Don't close out the window. It's a 3-point ball game in Fort Worth. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Two minutes to go in regulation here from Fort Worth, Texas. Seattle with the ball down by 3. Patak will throw. Blitz coming. Pass hits the helmet of Highwind. He didn't even know where the ball was going. Incomplete. 4th down.
And I would believe at this point, Seattle has to go for it. They need to keep possession of the football. This will be the first 4th down attempt between either of these two teams here. The biggest play of the game. Does Patak have the composure?
Heavy look out of the nemesis. A more composed 4-3 look out at Fort Worth. Looking to play coverage. Patak, deep shot, middle. Trying to hit Truth and could not. Ball falls incomplete. And it's a turnover on downs.
Huge stop from Aiden Davis to poke the ball loose away from Paulie Truth. The big ball, that's Ben Stone getting that instead. Great job from Stone to poke the ball loose. It looked like with his helmet, to be honest. But the big thing out of this is that Fort Worth has the ball through a turnover on downs, and they're a minute 53 away from being 2-0.
But can they get a first down is the biggest question now. Seattle have all 3 of their timeouts. They can deny the Toros this. Handoff Bacon. They have to stop him as Bacon rumbles forward, getting a few extra yards. That's about an 8-9 yard pickup, and it sets up 2nd and short.
And that's just big speed running from JZ Bacon. We've seen that happen a few times, especially up the gut from Bacon. He just speeds his way forward, forgets about any gap that's trying to get open, and he tries to break that second level of defense. And right now, it's been working for him. Another 9 yards, 2nd and short.
I formation. A first down could do it. Handoff. Bacon lures his proverbial horns and picks up the first down. And now all that stands between a win is one last Seattle timeout.
Yeah, and Fort Worth, they're trusting on the body that has done such fantastic work through this game. Still over 10 yards per carry is JZ Bacon, getting closer and closer to 275 yards rushing. Just an amazing performance from Bacon.
Gets the call again through the middle. Taken down by a tag team of Bryant James and TJ Harper. And that's the 3rd and final timeout for Seattle.
Now 2nd and 8. You've got 98 seconds left. Are we going to see victory formation here? I don't think so. I think they're more focused on just getting the first down.
A first down clinches it. If they are unable to get the first, Seattle might get the ball back with just a slim chance of getting some points. Bacon taken down behind the line. Great pursuit from TJ Harper, but now the clock is free to run.
Yeah, and with that snap, there's probably going to be under a minute left, and we'll see what happens from that point. But right now, Seattle has to be thinking about punching the football loose from Bacon or Alexander, or maybe prevent a pass here. This could be a passing opportunity from Dunhill.
3rd and 9 from the 20-yard line. Fort Worth are praying they don't throw it. He will hand it off to Bacon. Left side. Bacon got the first down. He stretched his arm over the plane, and the Toros will come away in this spectacular contest with a 3-point nail-biter victory.
And you have to think, from a Fort Worth fan standpoint, when you saw the camera not change perspective from Dunhill, were you thinking perhaps, oh, are you going to do play action on this? No, they give it to their reliable option and get the first down.
And so it's the Fort Worth Toros who will maintain a perfect record. They will go 2-0 as they will be on the road in 2 weeks' time. They get a bye week next week, but in 2 weeks' time, they will play Tulsa in a Monday night Cam and Paul spectacular on August 21st at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And meanwhile, Seattle will lick their wounds. Next week, they'll be back at home as they will take on the Arizona Scorpions as the clock hits triple zeros. And that's it. That's your ball game. It's Fort Worth 34, Seattle 31. What a ball game, partner.
Back and forth between these two sides. Just great work from both these teams trying to get the upper edge at any point in this game. You see it right there, over 830 yards of total offense between these two teams, and pretty balanced between run and pass. So great work from both these teams. But at the end of the day, the second half performance from Fort Worth to get back in this after Seattle had a fantastic second quarter, and just to get back the lead and really give Seattle a heck of a time. Hey, let's just say this right now. This Pacific Division is going to be a tough one this season. Seattle has improved significantly over these just first couple of games, and we still have the powerhouse in Vancouver. Portland looks really good, and LA may be falling behind right now, but who knows? They might pick themselves back up and compete in this division. It's anyone's game, but right now, Fort Worth keeps in pace with Alamo City, gets themselves a 2-0 record, and look at that Tex-Mex division as well. That one's going to be a barn burner.
It's quickly turned into Vancouver not being alone in the Pacific Division anymore. Seattle fall to 1-1, hot on the heels of everybody else. All right, partner, who's your player of the game?
I think there's really one option at this point. He's got 272 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's going to be the Bacon Meister himself, Jay-Z Bacon.
And so that'll do it here from the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, Texas. We hope you enjoyed the ball game. Certainly have. And so a special thank you to DJ Woods and Luke Schreiner on the stats truck, commissioner and producer Cameron Irvine, and of course my partner, Brett Solberg. I've been Tyler Falk. We will see you tomorrow for more Week 2 SFL action. And until then, folks, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Boo-doo.